Hey, we want to welcome everybody to another episode of You and the Law Podcast Show. I'm one of the co-hosts of the show, Virgil Green. And as always, I got to introduce the brother who sits next to me every Thursday afternoon, who goes by the name of Chief Swaggy, Swaggy One, the ultimate beast.
What's
What's
going
going
on,
on?
man?
Not a whole lot, brother. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing really well, man. Thank you for asking, man.
Hey, before we bring our guest on, Keith,
Don't
this past
start. Don't
No,
start.
no, no. I was just going to
Okay.
say, this past week, unfortunately, there was another mass shooting at a school, another community dealing with, you know, an incident at a school, and it happened in Madison, Wisconsin, and Keith, at a time right before the holiday, there's this is something that shouldn't be happening, and not just to make light that it's right before the holidays, but it just changes it puts things into perspective of what we're dealing with day to day in this profession of law enforcement.
It does, man. And prayers to that, to those families, to that community, and to our good friend Sean Barnes, who's the chief there in Madison. And I
Yeah.
think Sean has done an amazing job in helping carry that community through their times through the time of tragedy. So, yeah, man, it's been, and also we had a deputy killed here in Tennessee last week. They laid him to rest today. So I want
Mhm.
to prayers for him and his family.
Yeah. Well, Keith, we can train for active shooters, go through those scenarios, but nothing can prepare you for when that you can do all the preparation, but when that event actually happens, now you're really dealing with it's not scenario based, it's all actual live right there. And so to see Chief Barnes handle that the way he has handled it, and it is it's you know everything happened very professional, and the spotlight has been on that community for the last couple of days. And I know there's still a lot of unanswered questions as to why this young lady who went to this school went there and committed this act of violence. So just another reminder, man. I mean, gun violence happens every day, but when it happens in school, everybody is wondering how could something like this here happen once again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, man. So tonight we've got a special podcast. We're right before Christmas. Next week. Well, what next Wednesday is going to be Christmas Eve, Christmas
Yeah.
Thursday.
Christmas is next Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay. So Tuesday is Christmas Eve. So we've got a guest that we're going to bring on to the podcast, and as we talk about, the importance of shop with the cop,
Right.
and so it's our Christmas special podcast, and so I want to bring on Deputy Shantae Ford with the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department. I think she is a part of their community outreach division. So, welcome to You and the Law podcast.
Thank you guys. I'm so happy to be here.
Hey, we're glad to have you here. I know we're going to probably have a slight delay, so we'll work through that and over the next 50 minutes, and have some good conversations about the importance of shop with the cop. So why don't you tell us about yourself and how long you've been in law enforcement, and what do you do at the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department?
Yeah, so I've been in law enforcement for about 11 years now. I was previously a police officer in a suburban city here in Minnesota. And while I was there, everything I did and still do to this day is surrounded by community engagement. So when I was out there, I was a SRO. I participated in Shop with a Cop my whole time when I was there. Now I'm at the county and I do community engagement for my main job, so all the time. And we just did Shop with a Cop, but I participated in 3 this year.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you guys participate. I mean, you're obviously with the county, so you guys are involved in other shop with the cops that are connected with other municipalities, or are these things that the Hennepin County Sheriff Department help organize with shop? How
Sorry,
does that?
you cut way out. I could not hear anything that you said.
Okay, so you say you were involved with three shop with the cops this year.
Yes.
Okay, so how does the county get involved with those shop with the cops?
So since we're the county, we partner with as many local agencies that are inside the county. And so those local agencies, they can invite us to come and hang out. It especially is nice now, just because a lot of agencies are still short staffed. And so we're able
Hmm.
to help out more families over.
Okay, okay. So you've been involved with three this year, and my agency just had our um, shop with the cop on last night.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
that's
so
awesome.
now you just we're gonna have to get so so my agency and your agency, we have a partnership, and but one of the things that we
Mhm.
haven't partnered on is shop with the cop. So next year we need to get
Yeah.
you all involved with our shop with the cop. Yeah.
Yes, most definitely.
So
That'd be awesome.
so first of all, I'd like to commend you on the dedication and the passion that you have for the community. Thank you for that. And
Yeah, thank
how
you.
many hours would you say that the preparation goes into the shop with a cop? You know, that you believe. You know, when do you all start? Is it a year-round process? And you know, how many? You know, how do you decide on what retailers that will participate?
Yeah, so this year I didn't plan it. My coworker did. It was the first that the county has participated in a while. And so but just by observing, a lot of agencies partner with Target. Chief, I'm not
Hmm.
sure who you guys partnered with, but Target is a
Yeah. Target.
huge supporter. Okay, yeah, yeah, being in the community, Target, when you need something, Target steps up. They're very, very helpful. So, partnered with Target, couple months, 3 months, in planning for that. I believe my coworker did. Um, a lot of meetings, the logistics, where the kids, what groups of kids, where are they coming from, and then how are they going to get there? All of that kind of types of logistics.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Keith,
Target is a.
I mean, go ahead, Keith.
Oh yeah, Target does have an amazing partnership with the community. When I was in Little Rock, we also partnered with Walmart, and you know, I would say that it's just an amazing. It's very rewarding. But and if I figure out how blessed you really are when you see just the smiles
Mhm.
on your face, and I'll tell you one that sticks out to me, Deputy Ford. We had a kid, a kid. When I say kid, 12, 13 years old, and you know, we provided them with a, um, you know, this is how much we have to spend, and this baby um, wanted to utilize the money to buy cereal, cleaning supplies, and things for his
Yep.
family. He wanted I mean, just the basic things that we take for granted. He didn't want anything for himself. He wanted cleaning supplies, sheets and towels for his mom, you know, and
Mhm.
things like that, socks and things for. I mean, that was just amazing that happened, and so it's just. I think we learn how blessed we are, and a lot of
Yes.
these kids want just little things. They're very selfless, and they want
Mhm.
things not just for themselves, but for their siblings and their parents, or grandparents, or whomever.
Yeah.
That's right. I made notes of, there certain things I wanted to hit on. And that was one of my notes, is that it's very eye-opening for a lot of the law enforcement people. And you really see like these kids have such huge hearts, especially these days. A lot of our youth are, labeled this and that, what we see in the media, stealing the cars and the guns and stuff. And so, just like anything else, we can often forget just how humble and like caring our young ones really are.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, and a lot of these kids don't even ask. They're not out there with their hands out asking for this. And I think, the selection process of these kids, we leave that up to the schools to select the students, and so uh, because they kind of know their students and they kind of know their needs, and so that's kind of how the agency where I'm at now, how these kids are selected. So I was going to ask you if you uh, about that. Do you know how that selection process works? Are you all involved with that at all? Or are you just there as that supporting agency?
So for the other age, or for one agency or one shop with a cop that I did, it was with the National Latino Police Officer
Hmm.
Association, with the Minnesota chapter. So different law enforcement agencies, gave families. I think one was a school district partnered with the locals. For the other agency that I went with, it was the kids from the middle school, so the staff that helped pick that. And then for us, it was the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay. 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 Uh,
It's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work. And a funny story is
Hmm.
I remember one kid, all he wanted was candy. He wanted to spend the allotment on chocolate candy. They were like, I tell you what, let's spend this much. But I mean, it's amazing. Just the little things. And how many volunteers did you all have this year?
For us, I think 12 deputies came, and then our community engagement unit. We have a mixture of licensed personnel and um, non-licensed personnel, so they all came, probably about 5 or 6. And then you got the Target people. They have people their workers that are there throughout the store, and then they dedicate a few lanes so we can go to specific lanes to get checked out right away. So I know Target also had some volunteers out there to help.
yeah. And I
Yeah,
think, Target has
and
been a
for our
great part.
audience,
Go ahead, Keith.
no, go ahead. It's and to the audience out there, there's kind of a delay, so we're not talking over each other, but that's just what's happening. And for the audience out there that may not know, Minneapolis is the headquarters for Target Corporation. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to share that with you all, with our audience.
Yeah. So Keith, I know you and I were more used to Walmart in this part of the country. There's not that many WalMarts up in Minnesota, and not that many in the Twin Cities areas. I know they're kind of out in the suburbs. So Target is a big supporter of Shop with the Cop for a lot of the suburb cities. Yeah, and I think I think they do have some programs where they may even assist with helping with some of the donations, or gifting some of the toys to some of the agencies who might need a little extra support. Um, it, it, Go ahead, Shante.
I'm sorry, I'm just agreeing
Oh,
with
okay,
you.
okay,
Yeah, Target has been really helpful.
yeah, and so another thing is that a lot of we how my agency is able to put on Shop with the Cop is through a local car dealership for the past several decades, they have put on a chili cook off, and so the money that's raised from that chili cook off, they donate that money to the crime prevention fund, and the crime prevention fund helps support Shop with the Cops. So it's a local car dealership. Um, I want to say it's Rudy Luther Toyota
Mhm.
in Golden Valley, and so they raised a couple $1,000s to support Shop with the Cops. So um,
Let me say something to you, Chief Green.
well, I know you're gonna say something smart, so go right ahead. So
Yeah,
everybody,
I just want to say, hey, Shantae, I want to say this to you, but and this is directed to Chief Green. Chief Green, don't you get in that chili cook-off, because if you get in that chili cook-off as a way to raise money for these babies, you're gonna nobody's gonna pay anything for that chili that you cook.
man, get out of here, dude. You can't cook chili. You can't cook chili the way I can cook chili.
Absolutely,
No, no, brother. I got a secret recipe.
you got a secret recipe
I
that
got a secret
requires
Uh-oh.
recipe.
tums or Rolaids once people try it.
Man, you know what? See, Deputy Ford,
Oh
this brother
man.
right here, this brother right here, he is afraid. He does a lot of talking, but he don't show his food like I show my food. So when you show your food, that let people know you can cook. You are a chef. He
That
he,
doesn't
he
mean that. That doesn't mean that. Don't do that.
well, you know what, man? I tell you what. Next
Oh.
time I cook some chili, cause see, Deputy Ford, he gets on to me when I post my food on my Facebook page.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
so I have to. I don't know if Deputy Ford has seen some of my food that I post, but she may have even seen some of it and liked it. I don't know. I'm just
But
saying.
I will tell you,
But I
I'm
know she
probably
ain't seen
sure.
none of your food.
Well, at the end of the day, I don't put my food on Facebook, but
Oh.
like you take pictures of heads of lettuce and tomatoes and stuff like that, and cups of milk, glasses of orange juice and stuff like that. But anyway,
Oh
Deputy
man.
Ford, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you Shante. I think that's a little bit more informal and I think
Yeah.
appropriate for the moment. But could you kind of talk about the kids, the age group of kids that you all provided Shop with a Cop for this year, and also the diversity, and talk about the reactions from the parents
Mhm.
when they got the word that they were selected to participate in the program this year. So can you kind of talk about those things?
Yeah. So the ages were a wide variety with the different ones that I partnered with. And we did partner, not we, but the Police Officers Association, the Latino one, they partnered with Walmart. So give the shout out to Walmart. They're also helpful too. But it was a wide
Okay.
variety of ages. And so littles all the way up to high school. The families are always, from what I have seen, very, very appreciative. Lots of thank yous, lots of hugs, lots of you made my holiday. Thank um so just everybody is just so thankful. These little time that we spend with the kids and the families um can be everlasting relationships. You have a bond, and there's some families that I'm still connected with from when I worked at a suburban police department. So you just never know what kind of doors you're opening up, what kind of relationships you're building when you do this. And then it's good for officers to see that too. So often they're running to call solving. Sometimes you're feeling defeated because you can't problem solve. This time right here that you get to spend with the families, you don't have to problem solve. You have to do some math, right? Because you can't go over your budget. But it's just everybody can be relaxed, laughing, and you feel like I'm really making a difference.
Yeah. So Shantae, after everybody does the shopping at Target, is there a location that you all go back to wrap the gifts, and then the kids, once
Mhm.
the gifts are wrapped, that they go home? How do you all do that?
Yeah, so after you do the shopping at Target, you go back to one event I did, we went to the fire station. Another event we did, we went out to the base camp and wrapped gifts, ate dinner, Chick-fil-A, pizza, wrap the gifts with the kids, and then you pack them up. And depending on, for us, the Boys and Girls Club, they did the transporting, so we didn't have to drive. But
Hmm.
sometimes, transportation is not on everybody's side, so you may have to bring some kids home, and that's okay.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think so. That's one of the things, as you mentioned, Keith. There's a lot of planning into hosting a shop with the cop. I mean, from if the schools are involved, transportation, who's going to go to the go to the stores to shop with the kids, and who's going to come back, who's going to wrap the gifts. Is what other is there any kind of pizza or food that's provided? So I think for those who are listening, and you're not aware of Shop with the Cop, and as we talk about the importance of Shop with the Cop, because it is at this time of the year, it is one of the most uh, uh, one of the community engagement events that really touches a lot of people, and not just a certain demographic, but it touches a lot of different students and families.
Hmm.
Yeah, I even know officers who bring their kids to the event so that they can see, um, how blessed they are, and they can also get a sense of community service.
Hmm.
I think that's very important, and I mean just the little bitty things. I mean, because I'm a firm believer that every child should have something under the tree. I am, and some of these kids, that's the only thing they get for the year. They might not get anything for birthdays. They may not get anything else. That may be it. And so,
Yeah,
yeah, this is a special moment, and it should be a big event. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So Shantae, you mentioned you were involved with three of these Shop with the Cops this year. Um, are there any kids who you've connected with that you still have some type of an ongoing re- relationship with?
Yeah, so the one with actually um one of the Boys and Girls Club, I have taught dare with them. I try to spend as much time with them as I can. So I knew couple of the kids. And so one of the kids right away, I was like, "You're my partner," and he was so excited. Um
Hmm.
yeah, so we definitely have a good relationship, and I met his mom just the other day when I was at a different event. So we'll definitely keep seeing them for sure. And then back
Yeah.
when I was a cop, you know, I definitely made a lot of relationships and kept those relationships throughout the year from middle school to high school, and then once they graduated. So yeah, it's just something that you definitely can, because you get to know the person, right? You're with them for a few hours, you're gonna get to know
Hmm.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you're talking about, kids going from middle school to high school, they're graduating. Has any of those kids talked about getting into a career in law enforcement, kind of following your path? Has any of that happened with any of them?
I don't know from Shop with a Cop. I'm not sure. But definitely just being in the community. I used to volunteer in the community when I was an officer. And a couple of them, yeah, one actually became an explorer and then went through the skills program. So that was really cool to see. I know I met him when Yep, probably like 6th grade, I would say. So
Oh,
now
okay,
he's an
okay,
adult and
okay.
he's married and all that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you know, Shanti, I think it's really important to highlight this is that the relationships and bonds that officers are dealing with these kids, it changes how officers, especially if you're not from the community. You know, a lot of officers live out in suburb cities. They don't connect with kids uh, in North Minneapolis or in other suburb or in other cities. And so I think, what do you think about how does that really help um, the importance of shot with the cop? If you have officers who, or even deputies who may not be from the community, but
Hmm.
they're investing their time into being a part of shot with the cop.
Yeah, it really does. I think, humbles, and just it just shows you a different lives, some people never go to Target because Target is expensive and we can't go there. We have to go somewhere else where we can stretch our dollar a little bit more. So
Yeah,
when a child is brought into Target and they're like, oh my gosh, like this is a treat,
yeah, yeah,
that really opens your eyes because it's like, I go to Target every week,
yeah. You don't think about it. Yeah,
don't even have to think about it,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
No. But then it goes the same for the kid too. They see the uniform and you spend time and they get to know an officer or deputy. And it's like, oh wow,
Hmm.
this deputy likes anime or whatever it may be. And you can find
Hmm.
those human connections where barriers start to come down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's really important. You know, you just mentioned that, you know, these kids, a lot of them don't have a good positive uh, outlook on law enforcement. And so when you do spend time with somebody and you're shopping with them, it's really important for the officers to really connect with those students. And I think it makes, that's why Shop with the Cop is so important because it kind of, the officers, it takes them out of that comfort zone that they're in, and they may not even have kids themselves. And so that's why it's really important to
Right.
connect officers with kids so they can get to know what these kids are going through, and uh, just by that conversation, what they can
Hmm.
do to really kind of help um, mentor or just. And I've seen officers take out money out of their own pocket and say, "Hey, here's a gift card for $50
Oh
for
yeah.
you and your family." You know,
Hmm.
so you know, you do see officers who,
Hmm.
even though everything is already paid for, they do come out of their own pocket to help some of the kids, especially if they see a kid want something and they know, I may not have enough money, and they kind of kick in and take care of that
Hmm.
responsibility.
Hey, Chief Green. So if
Yeah,
we
I
went,
saw that happen.
no,
No,
go
go
ahead,
ahead, Sean.
no,
Yeah,
go ahead, Shante.
we got that delay, so we're gonna kind of
Oh, I was just
stop and not walk over each other.
Oh, I was just
Yeah,
gonna
go ahead.
say, a perfect example of what Chief was saying is there's a kid that an officer purchased like a warranty protection for a keyboard or something, a 3-year warranty protection, and the kid was like, "Oh, you didn't have to do that," and the officer said, "You're right, I didn't have to, but I wanted to." And I
Hmm.
didn't want to look, so I was, just kind of eavesdropping, but I could feel like the kid was like, "Wow, really?" And he's like, "Man, thank
Hmm.
you so much." And that was just so touching for me because, like you said, pull money out of your own pocket. Nobody's telling us we have to do that. And there's so many good officers out there that are like, "I want to help. I want to do this."
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hey,
and
Virgil. So if I bought a little guitar and I was needed a warranty on it, would you pay for it?
let me think about this.
Come
If it
on.
was you,
Yeah.
I wouldn't get the 3 year warranty. I would get the 6 month warranty.
6 month warranty. Okay. Hey, hey, Shantae, let me ask you this. When did you determine this was your ministry, the community relations part of it? Because I'm sitting here listening to you, and I can feel and see the passion. You did this at a previous
Mhm.
department. You followed you into this department. So when did you know that this was your ministry, and that you actually knew that this is it? This is what I want to do. I want to give back. When did that start?
Really back when I was young in my career, I started volunteering at a place that where kids could just go, if they needed a safe place to go. And I started really getting to know the kids. They got to know me, and then, starting to respond to calls. Um, and the families would, emotions are high, and families would be like, "Oh, you're Officer Ford. My nephew talked about you before." And, the tension started to calm down a little bit. So I learned real early in my career that by putting yourself in the community, letting the community get to know you, it really helps, when you respond to calls and tensions are high. It gives everybody a little sense of, I don't know, kind of like comfort or safety. And then, the community has supported me, and we celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, and it's just so much fun. And so once I saw that and learned that, I just continued to do that up until now.
Yeah. So Shantae, what got you into law enforcement? What got you into policing? And are you originally from the Minneapolis Twin Cities area? What's that story that got you into wanting to become in law enforcement?
So shout out to the Crystal Police Department. I was a barista at Caribou and Crystal, and their day shift came in every day and ordered the same cups of coffee. So we all just got to know each other, and I was in my early 20s, and then one of them, he invited me on a ride along. I went on the ride along, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I just like, well, I was going to school to be like a teacher, but I didn't really know what else I wanted to do. So then after that, I just went to school to be a cop, and I'm still here.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, and the reason I ask you that, Shante, because
Yeah.
oftentimes, something me and Chief Humphrey talk about is how we don't see a lot of young black women. We don't really see a lot of young black men getting into this profession because of um, it has not always been a good profession to people who look like you and I. And so, but it's good to
Mhm.
see that you connected with an agency, and that that was a positive experience that you had with that agency. And so you said
Yes.
that was at is that you said that was at Caribou? Is that the coffee place up here?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the
okay,
main one. Caribou was actually their first store opened here in Minnesota. So
okay. Well, so Shante, me and Chief Humphrey, we're used to Starbucks. So there's a lot of Starbucks up here, but Keith, man, there's a lot of those uh, other coffee
Caribou.
places that she just, yeah, Caribou,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Very familiar with Caribou. Very
yeah.
familiar with it. So, did you say earlier, Shantae, that you taught Dare? Did I hear you say Dare?
yes,
Did I hear you
yep,
say you taught Dare?
that's correct.
So is the so
I
it's
do.
okay. So the Dare program is still active in the Twin Cities area.
Yes. It is. It's been revamped since like I went through. But yep, we're still here teaching Dare. Yep.
Okay, yeah, because Keith, wasn't it last week or didn't we bring up Dare in a previous conversation about the Dare program, and
Yeah.
Dare has really kind of changed over the last couple of years and even decades. The Dare program has really kind of changed, and agencies have kind of done either they've dropped the Dare program or they've done something different. And you've heard of what is the Great program, right?
Yeah.
And so that's a program that you really don't
Yep.
you hear more about Dare than you do the Great program.
Yeah, that's commendable
Hmm.
that you've taken that DARE program and continue and have expanded on it.
So to
Yeah. Yeah, it's
you and
pretty
to the
good. I like it.
well, I'm just going to say to the three of us and to those who are listening, I continue to see that we've got a drag, a delay. So please bear with us as we work through this. Uh, this is what happened when you do a live podcast. That everything, some of the technology doesn't work always right. So yeah, but hey, so I want to remind those who are just now tuning into the podcast. We definitely want to thank those who are watching on our YouTube, watching on Facebook, and those who are watching and listening or on LinkedIn. We thank you for tuning in. If you got any comments or questions, put them in the chat and we'll get to those. But tonight's topic is the importance of Shop with the Cop. And Shop with the Cop, Keith, this has been an outreach program that's been around for decades. I mean, you know, probably 30, 40 years that agencies have been doing Shop with the Cop. And as we talk about the importance of Shop with the Cop, Shante, you touched on some things. I know you got some notes about some things you wanted to kind of talk about. But what are some of the other importance of Shop with the Cop that you want to share with us?
Other important things. I think we touched on most of them. Just really humbling. Um, some officers or deputies. Just opening our eyes to see like what other people experience, what our kids are experiencing in our communities. Um, a time for us to have fun, and laugh and not, have to worry about what are we gonna do at this next call or, always being operating up here. You can, chill out a little bit. So that's healthy for everybody.
Hmm.
And just really getting to know the community, and it also is good for the community as a whole because community members will see us in the stores laughing and giggling with kids. For me, I was running in the store with my cart and then I bumped into the display and hot chocolate went flying all over the place. Here I am, a deputy running, so just everybody just really gets to see human beings, and
Yeah,
it's just good for everybody.
yeah. Well, Shante, is you bring out something that I was going to talk about, just the fun of being in a store, shopping with kids, and as you just mentioned, you're running down an aisle with the shopping cart. You hit a display, coffee goes everywhere. Uh, Nobody was like, "Ooh, you're gonna be in trouble," So just the fun,
Right.
and the other, and I think a lot of people at Target stores, they're like, "Oh, what's going on? Why is all the cops running around?" And you start hearing people, kind of whisper and say, "Oh, that's Shop with the Cop or something." And so it also lets people know who may not know about Shop with the Cop, because we were doing it last year at a Target, and there were some people in the store who walked up and said, "How could we help?
Yeah,
What
I
can we
was gonna
do
say
to
that.
help?"
I've
Um,
Mhm.
seen that.
and
That's
so
right.
be- but they were in Target shopping for Christmas gifts themselves, but saw and wanted to know, and some even bought gift cards. And so it was just
Mm.
their way of paying it forward, giving it back. So uh, I don't know if you've ever experienced anything like that, but to see that just goes to show you there's a lot of good people, um, and people have this
Mhm.
impression of cops, but when they see cops in a different light, it changes what how they think about police officers.
Yep.
So, so Chief Humphrey, let me ask you something, man.
Here we go.
I know. When was the last time you did? I know you done shot with the cop, man. But
Yeah.
did you buy you one of them checkerboards? Like a Monopoly game or something,
No, actually, I bought one of those operation games.
where
You
you
remember the
stick?
operation games?
Yeah,
Yeah.
operations where you stick.
I bought me one of those. Uh, I got me. What else did I get? I got a bouncing ball, some Uno cards. Yeah, that's what I bought myself.
Mm.
So you talking about the bouncy ball that you sit on and
Yeah,
bounce around
absolutely,
on?
absolutely, absolutely.
So
And it,
so so Shantae, can you imagine seeing Chief
Oh.
Humphrey on a bouncy ball bouncing around? I can't visually see that. I can't. You know, maybe the operations.
No, I
I can
can't
see.
either, but
oh, trust me, I did it when I was in Little Rock and Norman. I got on one of those hippity hop balls and bounced around the store.
How many times you fall off?
I didn't fall off.
oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Okay. So a fun thing about this is that taking the pictures, taking photos and sharing those
Mm,
photos on social media, it just puts it out there. It just shows once again the other side of officers, and it shows, um, these are memories. And I think you talked about the importance of connecting with these
mhm.
kids, but you're you know we're creating memories that these kids will remember into their teenage adult life.
Yeah. Yep, that is
So
very true. And we can oops.
no, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, that is very true. They'll remember that into their adult lives, and we can keep that in our minds too. Um, just with other activities of what we do, checking up on people, or just some small little acts of kindness that really we might think are no big deals can really stick with people. And this one for sure, families definitely will remember. Hey, remember that one time you did shop with the cop? And it's like, yeah, I remember. So
Hmm.
yeah, you can talk about it all the time.
Yeah, yeah. So I know we're talking about shop with the cop and the importance of shop with the cop, but something that the agency that I'm with has been doing for uh, almost 30 years. It's coming in 2025 would be 30 years. Is Toys for Tots, which is another amazing something that the Marines they're they're the main ones that are involved with this, and the agency that I'm with, we're just a host agency. And Keith, there's been agencies who have been coming to Toys for Tots for 29 years, and their communities are donating toys, and they're bringing the toys to the host agency. We go to our local NBC affiliate news station, Care 11 in Golden Valley, and just to see all the police officers come together for that event
Mm.
is just another something that people don't see behind the scenes. Shantae, as to how officers come together to bring these toys, and so that's another important event is Toys for Tots.
Yes.
So you know what's amazing, and it's the one time of the year that it's like you just focus on happiness. You
Yeah.
focus on the goal is for those children and their
Hmm.
families to be happy, and everybody pours that happiness and that enthusiasm and everything into this into this project, and you just kind of forget about your troubles, and then you wait, you hurry up, and hey, it's got to get here next year. So it's just amazing how this program, uh, in providing toys and other items to kids, um, really go a long way. And then the looks of the parents' faces when they realize that my child is not going to wake up on Christmas morning without something, that my prayers have been answered,
Mhm.
and somebody cares. Somebody really cares enough to think about me and to think about my babies.
Yeah, yeah. So Shantae, when you were shopping with the kids, did anybody ask you, "Hey, what do you think about this toy or this gift or anything like that?" Did any of the kids want your advice on what they should buy, or did they already kind of have an idea of what they wanted?
Yep, they knew what they wanted. I would say I got lucky this year because they knew what they wanted and where it was in the store. That's why I was running, trying to keep.
uh, well,
So
and
yeah, no, they get their um. They,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go
Well,
ahead.
no, go ahead. I didn't mean we still got that delay, so yeah, go ahead. S- s-
Oh no, they just yeah, they know exactly what they want. I didn't really have to give too much of my opinions. My main job was keeping up and then being the keeping track of the math.
Okay, 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 okay. Well, again, I want to just remind those who are just now tuned into the podcast that tonight's topic is the importance of Shop with the Cop. And Shop with the Cop, has been around for a long time. There's so many agencies around the country who put these events on every year, and it definitely changes the lives of a lot of kids, a lot of families, and it's just a time of giving. And there's a lot of families that are struggling, and but this is a way to. There's so many other organizations come together to help support those Shop with the Cop events. So, what is some of the things that you've seen over your years of doing Shop with the Cop that you've kind of said, "Hey, let's do this next year"? Has there been anything that you have seen that you said you would like to see uh, that just kind of changes how Shop with the Cop?
Yeah, I really like the aspect of shopping and then going somewhere after, um, to wrap the gifts if they want to, but having that time of wrapping or drinking hot chocolate or having pizza, whatever it may be, um, it just adds a little extra just time to get to know the kids, and then they're playing around and they're running, and then the families if they want to come in too, if there's enough food, it's just more community.
Yeah, yeah.
What was some of the are there any cons to it? I mean, we know the pros, but are there any cons to that to the program that you look at that for the next year you say, hey, we got to make sure we do this better? We start earlier, we do this better, we get more sponsors. What are some of those things that you come away with each year saying we can do better the next year?
Yeah, I think you have to just cater, or I don't know if cater is the right word, but to the community that you're with. Like the schools, what works for them, as far as like timing. So it's gonna probably look different each year depending on the group that you're pulling getting the youth from. But I don't really see any. I'm sure there's some cons out there, and every year you can tweak it and make it better. But just honestly, spending that time with the kids, just is so meaningful and so impactful. And then once again, helping to make the holidays a little bit easier on that family, another impactful moment.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the main uh, thing about Shop with the Cop is just the impact that Shop with the Cop has on everybody, and the fact that it's touching people when they need it, and um, you know, once again, like I said, it's creating memories. I know one of the things that I mentioned the photos that are taken. Um, we try to put those photos out there so people can see, and just with the in whether it's photos or videos of the event. Again, it's just creating those lasting memories for the officers and for the families and for the students as well. And so, this is I want to encourage those who, if you're in your community, if you can find a way to support uh, uh, law enforcement and their efforts to do Shop with the Cop, uh, see how you can do that. Because again, it goes a long way with helping some students out. And so when you all get
Mhm.
these invites, is there anything else that you all do to 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 prepare for uh, going to the stores to do a Shop with the Cop, or is that something that everybody just kind of knows? Hey, we get in our cars, we go to Target, and you're paired with the kid, and everybody just goes around and just starts looking for gifts. How does that work for you all?
They'll usually just whoever's organizing it will send out the ops plan. So the time to be there, the kids, their names, age, school, sometimes parent guardian contact information. Sometimes the kids will come with a list or just one that they're on their mind. And then you get paired up with them and shopping. So since we're coming into a community and we don't that necessarily might not have a relationship with a kid, you just got to use your skills to kind of tap in and try to pull out what they like. At first, it might be kind of awkward, obviously, but um, you know, you just get to know the kids, and then next thing you know, you're running down the aisle, running into the display.
Running into the display and spilling coffee everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Uh,
Deputy Ford, can I ask you a question? Tell us, we're coming down to the end of the show, but tell us what your day looks like. You're a community officer. You're out there. You're being proactive. So just kind of talk to us about what does Shantae Ford do on a daily basis in her position.
Yeah, that's a great question. So it varies. Every day looks different. Some days I'm in meetings, so like public safety meetings. I go to an unsheltered opioid meeting. So some days I'm doing that. Some days I'm teaching DARE or maybe just doing a PowerPoint, educating community members about the sheriff's office and what we do. Other days like today, my coworker and we went and sorted through all of our cold weather gear because we have a cold weather drive going on right now. We sorted through that stuff and we made big bags full of cold weather gear and we went out and delivered it to our organization there in the community that can get the cold weather gear handed out to people that need it. Um, so every day it just varies. It's really what does the community need and want, and then if we can help out and do the service, we most definitely will.
Does the area have a large unsheltered population that you all assist?
Yeah, we may not assist like our community engagement unit like firsthand. We're more like behind the scenes work with like giving out the cold weather gear to the organization that are like boots on the ground. Um, so I don't really go out like that much, like, doing that kind of stuff, but we do partner with folks that are definitely boots on the ground.
Okay.
So Keith, I have to share with you, man. So since I've been up here, Shantae has been at quite a few community engagement events that we've hosted in the city of Golden Valley, and every time she's there, man, she's got this this bright smile, full of energy, uh, and so she lets you know she's the life of the party, man. She brings the party. Uh, we did a we did a uh, we what was it, Pride Fest, the Pride Festival,
Oh
in
yeah.
Golden
Mm-hmm.
Valley, and so we so we have our own tent, and so we said, hey, you guys can come join us, and so we all partnered together, and in this past year they brought their own community engagement stuff out, and they were a part of that. So um, like I said, man, every time I see her, she's got this bright smile, she's full of energy, and just positive. Now, I've never seen her since I've been here, looking like, nah, I don't want to be here. What I'm doing. She just has a lot of energy in herself. So it's good to see that. So
That's why I asked her
Oh,
when did she. That's why you can tell it's her
thank you.
ministry. I mean, this is what she. That's why I was asking earlier. This is her
Hmm.
ministry. You can tell that she's passionate about it. It's obvious.
yeah,
So
yeah. And so
yeah.
Keith,
Yeah.
we went to Atlanta. We were at the Plexi conference in Atlanta
Okay.
earlier this year,
Okay.
and Hennepin County brought a lot of their community engagement people, and Shantae was there, and again, just to see how she was engaging with people, and so uh, you know, Hennepin County has a really good community engagement outreach program, and she's a part of that. And Sheriff Witt, who is a sheriff with Hennepin County, she gets out there herself. She's not gonna let Shantae outdo her, so she's gonna get out there with her.
That's right.
So so if Sheriff Witt, I'm pretty sure she will, if she's not listening, because I tagged her on our podcast tonight. But if she is, uh, you know, just know that Sheriff Wood she's not gonna let anybody outdo her. She's gonna get out there, and she's gonna have just as much fun with everybody else.
I've
So
heard that about her. I've heard that.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, you guys do an amazing job throughout the Hennepin County area with all the different surrounding agencies supporting those agencies with their community engagement. So, and I've said this a lot, Shantae, and me and Chief Humphrey has talked about this. That's the piece that's really missing from policing, is that community engagement.
Mm, hmm.
Well, authentic community engagement,
Yeah,
not just
it has to
community engagement,
be.
the authentic
Yeah,
part of it.
Mm.
And that's why I was sharing. That's why I was telling Shantae, you can obviously tell her participation is authentic.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It is.
authentic. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. Because people,
Yeah.
these kids know if you're not sincere and serious, they're not going to have a good time. They know if you're
That's
just
right.
there to be there, and if you're not
Hmm.
having a good time, they're going to let you know. I mean, this generation is not afraid to say something to you about it.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
That I learned that quickly when I went back into the classroom.
Yeah, yeah. So Shantae, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on our podcast, You and the Law, as we talked about the importance of Shop with the Cop. Again, thank you for taking the time to join us. And again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in on our YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So Keith, man, we're gonna take a 2 week break from this, so we won't be on next Thursday, and we won't be on the following Thursday. because of Christmas and New Year's.
Mm.
So
Well, our listeners will be sad that I'm not on, but they won't mind the fact that you're not on.
you know what, man? Only thing I'm gonna say to you is peace and love, brother. Peace and peace and love.
Oh,
The only thing I'm gonna say to you is Merry Christmas, man. I love
you
you.
guys are great.
Dante, young lady, you got a strong ministry. May God bless you. Thank you for what you do. And you got a bright future ahead of you
Yeah.
in community engagement.
Hmm.
And so thank you for what you do.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. And we're go-
Yes. Thank
yeah,
you.
and we definitely look forward to for what's coming in 2025 to see that bright smile that you bring to these community engagement events. And Keith, before we sign off, man,
Yes.
I just want to say, from me, and I'll give the floor to you. Thank everyone for supporting and listening to us every Thursday afternoon as we talk about topics that are related to policing in America. We're this is our fourth year. We're going to be coming into our fifth year doing our podcast, and it just continues to grow. And you know, obviously, we have a lot to. I think people like hearing my voice more than they like hearing his voice, Shante. So, I think that's why we
Oh,
are successful as we are.
yep.
Well, they
Okay.
like
Now
hearing
you
your
guys
voice,
can
but they
box.
like seeing my face.
Mm.
They like seeing this is what they, hey,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, man.
Mhm.
All right. Well, hey, man, we will again. Everybody have a safe and happy holiday season, Christmas, New Year's, and make sure if you go to your Christmas party, New Year party, do not drink and drive. Get a
Right.
ride from Uber, Lyft, do whatever, but do your part to not drink and drive during the holiday season. If you're going to a company Christmas party, company New Year's Eve party,
Mm.
be safe and make sure that you tune in to You and the Law. And if you uh, don't know anything about You and the Law, go to our website, which is www.youandthelawpodcast.com. That's www.youandthelawpodcast.com. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. So we're everywhere you listen to podcasting at, you will find You and the Law podcast. So, Keith, it's been another great year, man. And we're looking forward to getting back together in 2025 and doing it all over again.
Mm.
well, like I said, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever um, you celebrate.
Kwanzaa.
And I wish everybody Kwanzaa. I wish everybody a happy holiday, safe holiday. Thank you all so much. Shante, to you and your family, happy holidays. Stay safe. And God bless you for what you are doing.
Thank you.
All
Happy
right.
holidays and
All right.
happy new year. And cheers to another year of podcasting.
All right. Thank you. All right. Everybody, thank you and have a good night. And we'll see you in 2025.